And welcome, everyone. We are getting live here with Battalion's Blitzkrieg Battle number 2. It is the first tournament series started up for Battalion 1944, brought to you by The Plays. We had our first one last weekend. Ocelots were able to take it from the Czech Republic, a team that you'll recognize. I'm Dust. With me is Vince. We're waiting to see who's going to be our next Blitzkrieg Battle champion. So first off, Vince, we've had some changes to this game since last time we commentated it. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, first off, obviously, I suppose what's on most people's minds is the heavy classes have both been buffed, so the STG and bar now will kill with a one-hit headshot. For me, the bar is still in a strange place, so I've been playing quite a bit with it. I think the STG is like absolutely spot on. I think it's fine. It's pretty strong, to be honest. But the bar sometimes does struggle a little bit, I would say. But also, you'll probably see that now we have the blue and red as opposed to green and red.
You're welcome,
sides
chat.
As well on X-ray, so that should hopefully clear things up a little bit for the viewers.
Yeah, indeed. Just let the viewers know, like, outside of commentating, Vince and I are also kind of in constant contact with the development team, trying to bring them suggestions to improve things, particularly from our end on the spectator side of things, obviously, the ones that do the broadcasting. So next on the list is to make the player bars also blue and red, I think. And we're looking at all kinds of changes, so it's good to see that they're certainly working on things and trying to make it better from a broadcasting perspective, which is obviously important to all of us to get to watch how this game plays out. As we're starting to see some weekend tournaments really start to kick off in Battalion 1944, some great grassroots efforts, and Blitzkrieg Battle being one of them, and Vince and I are very happy to be able to work with them on that. We also got some sick news from Brammer. We were able to have an interview with Brammer, me and Vince, privately yesterday for about 30 minutes to an hour, I'd say. And so throughout the stream, we'll be dropping you some little nuggets. Isn't that right, Vince? A few little breadcrumbs.
Yeah, it sure is. And there's some very good news coming up as well. So there's stuff that we've been told that we can't share. And it's very exciting things indeed.
I can share one thing with him, Vince. We'll give him one right now off the top of the stream for all those loyal people who showed up right at the start.
Okay, go on then.
New competitive map within the next 2 to 3 weeks.
There you go. Not bad at all.
Or okay, let me rephrase that. I don't want to f over the dev team. New competitive map within the next few weeks. It's on the horizon.
It's coming.
It's in the cards.
It told us there's going to be a new competitive map coming up soon.
There you go. First little breadcrumb for you folks.
We don't know what the name is. We don't know what it looks like. We don't know much
Nothing about it.
We just know that there is one
I think he said there were already some images leaked of it online, so people may have already seen it. And I do know that there were some images leaked online of some type of D-Day Normandy invasion type map, so, thinking emoji.
Wait, this can't be live, is it? It's 2-1. They need to restart the server,
Yeah, I have to restart the server. Allies don't even have a full 5 yet.
Okay.
Like, their player isn't here. So,
cool.
We ain't live yet. But yeah, so, new competitive map coming next few weeks. I don't know if it's going to be the image I just referred to that was leaked, but apparently there was a leaked image of it already online that someone found. Might have been on the subreddit, like before the game even launched or something like that. He said there's already stuff out there if you know and you can find it, but they won't be releasing anything for another few weeks. So that'll be cool. See another map in the competitive rotation. But that's the only nugget I'm giving you so far. I'll give you more nuggets throughout the stream. That's why you should stay tuned throughout the whole thing, because then you learn new stuff about the game.
Absolutely. And of course, in this first bracket, or part of the bracket, I should say, it's going to be 2 relatively unknown teams, but we do have the likes of Ocelots and Penta, I believe, are also playing today.
Yep, Penta are going to be in this one, which is great.
Asias as well, I think that's how you pronounce their name.
Arctic Cats in the Snowstorm.
Yep, that's Nala and Davies' team, so that should be pretty interesting, exciting to watch.
Yep, also Article 51, I think, is maybe here again. Not 100% sure on that, but
I think so, yeah.
They did beat Ocelots in a show match, actually, on Thursday that we commentated, so
that's
maybe looking to get that going. So now we do have a 5th in the server for the Allies. So hopefully that means going live soon.
You'd hope so, wouldn't you? Because we got a
Unless
long
they're
day
already playing. I'm really confused. Did they just play 4v5 the first few rounds?
I mean, they're playing as if they are actually live, but I assume that they weren't going through with the 4v5. So, I don't know. Do we treat this as live?
I'm gonna ask in chat.
I mean, they've got a guy AFK at spawn as well. One of the access is AFK,
yeah.
so it's not live.
Okay.
Right.
It's not live. Not live. That's great. Good deal. So yeah, our first map is going to be Coastal, as you can already see, which is probably one of my favorite maps. A little bit different color scheme, setting than kind of the rest. Doesn't have that dark vibe to it. A little bit more open. I think there's a lot that you can do on this map on both sides. A lot of cool different sniping spots for both sides, actually. We already know about kind of the lamppost one that allies can use, but there's also some cool stuff I saw Climaxu doing for computer players, a couple of different spots over towards B that I hadn't actually seen before, and then I saw them put out like this highlight video. So there's definitely a lot of little tricky spots that you can be getting inside of. We're also starting to see teams kind of figure out grenades, I feel like, a lot better. Like, I was actually watching Lex's team. You know Lex, of course, from COD 4 Pro, also an ACS player for a while. Played at a pretty decent level in North American Counter-Strike. And he teamed up with Grego, who used to play Overwatch for Cloud9. They kind of met some people through like the alpha and beta phases that they were just playing games with and decided to put a team together. And I think they might be representing Mythic, which is like an org that was like kind of player created for Counter-Strike. But anyway, I was watching them play because there was an North American tournament last night, and they won it. Lexus team wound up winning the whole thing. And I think they only gave up 5 rounds. Like they never gave up more than 5 rounds in every match they played. So they kind of dominated the bracket. And on this very map, they were doing some really cool smoke wall strats by Statue to kind of let them be able to push coast into A without anyone from like Broken Wall or Connector or anything being able to see them. So yeah, I think people are starting to kind of figure out utility usage as well. Obviously, Ocelots were showing us some cool stuff on Liberation. So I think it's neat that we're only maybe a week, 2 weeks into this game, and people are already kind of practicing together as teams and coming up with tactics and getting ready for, this being an esport.
Yeah, that's only going to improve, and it's only going to increase as time goes on. Ocelots in particular were very impressive to me with their set play. But as we already said, they did lose to Article 51 just a few days ago. And it's important to mention that Manor House was not played, and that was the banana peel that Article 51 and also computer players slipped on.
And what was the German team with Reflexer? They also slipped up on that map. So we had a lot of COD veterans kind of fall prey to that. But I think we're live now. So
it would seem so, I think. I think they just paused. Nope. Okay, we're live.
We're going. We're getting in there. Get in there, Vince.
So right off the bat, we do have a sniper for I Want Him. I'm assuming that is his name. And it's going to be... And our producer has a bug, apparently. Shows 5 names constantly on his screen. I don't know what that means. Right, well, we'll just do a radio broadcast, and hopefully that'll be fixed once Ruben gets back in. But it is going to be a heavy B hit for the time being for the allies who are already on the site and taking control completely. There's no one even close other than Eraseme Switch, who is at the back waiting for the rest of his team to get close to them. So Mystic going to be edging away after the bomb has been planted, 4-on-3. And although allies have lost a player, there's a couple of low players as well on Axis. I Want him down to 30. Going to start to regen. Position's looking good for the allies, though. They're in round the back. I Want him. He's going to be getting himself a kill, but now the bomb's going to be tickled, and it's all on Mystic. He has to try and fight this off with his pistol. He's going to land the first headshot. 15 seconds left. Jumps back in again, but the bar is too good. And the first blood in this map will be drawn by Axis and Eraseme.
Indeed, they will be taking it. Of course, they're playing against the Pangea.Dragons, which is a pretty sick name, to be honest with you. Also a pretty sick skin that I Want Him's got there. As, again, don't really know these two teams. Not like familiar names. Maybe some of you guys out in chat are familiar, and if you are, you can definitely let us know. But, yeah, just kind of watching this just to see how things play out. It's kind of a neat B execute that goes off. Wind up kind of coming down to a 1-versus-1 situation. Does go the way of the Eraseme team. So we will see I Want Him still with that sweet scope, looking to take a pick here over towards the mid-arch. Could be seeing someone soon. But looks like a lot of players are bunching up the coastline, but a nice set nade comes in. That'll give the Axis a quick advantage.
It sure will. Alongside the secondary kill as well, it's looking really good now for Eraseme after that sticky beginning. Bergie's going to be looking to push his way through red brick, but he is the most forward player right now for the allies, and he's basically by himself. His 2 teammates are trying to bring it up from the rear and see if they can get him covered from range with the sniper rifle, but now it's all on Ghost. Thompson has been taken as his secondary, but it just seems like he's delaying the inevitable at this point. It's a 5-on-1. He doesn't have control of the bomb either, so his chances fall somewhere between slim and none.
Yeah, at this point, it's just about maybe trying to, save his card, maybe try to take down a few cards. Card economy is still part of the game right now, though we do know it's on its way out. So maybe we'll talk about that a little bit later as well. It's already been kind of hinted at, but flawless victory for the most part here for Axis. In fact, it is flawless thanks to Regen. Well done there. I mean, mostly this is coming off the back of a set nade being able to stop them very early. Also, I think it was Switch from Eraseme who actually pushed through B-side and got onto the spawn street for allies. Pretty much got all the information that everyone was going to be isolated over towards the A side of the map. Made it very easy for everyone to kind of rotate, get in position, kind of just flex their man advantage, so to speak. So just a pretty clean round there, all in all, for Eraseme. But now it seems like we see a shift of emphasis here from their opponents who are looking to try to push towards that B side in mid-arch.
Ghost seeing if he can find himself some players, but it's actually going to be SwitchMe who are looking to push straight through onto the long side of B, through the house actually. And that is going to be Switch. They're in position, waiting. Again though, he's been in here before. He bought up enough time for the rest of his team to get onto the site and get the defuse into effect, but one of his teammates has gone down. Switch is going to answer back with one of his own frags, and Ghost would have heard that to his left-hand side. The problem, though, for the Axis is they only have 2 players remaining. Last time, they were in a 3-on-1. They have got a kill into the back of Ghost, but it's all on 10. He's spotting himself the first player. Lands it, now down to a 1-on-1. He's got enough time to maybe flirt with this bomb a little while longer. And Darby was thinking about going for the full rotation, but he's worried in case the player holds the defuse, and now he will. 10, about halfway through the defuse. Darby's going to have to push through with a shotgun, but he's not going to be able to get the kill. Oh my god, that is so unfortunate. A point-blank range shotgun blast doesn't get the frag, and Eraseme somehow escape with a 3-0 lead.
Dude, 10 was just making plays that round, man. Just rotating around over on Beach Street, just popping kill after kill, including kind of a crazy 180. Darby had a chance. He missed that first sniper shot, and then it just came down to the 1v1 in the end. Tried to push the shotgun, couldn't get the kill, and that's 3 rounds now for Eraseme. Looking pretty dominant so far in this game, but that was a close one that should have probably gone the way of Pangea.Dragons. Probably feeling gutted they didn't put that one off. As again, they're looking to shift that focus over towards the B side of the map. Just kind of Ghost and Darby looking at mid. But Switch is pushing through B house right now. Could get in their face.
Yeah, he's done this the last 3 or 4 rounds. I'm really surprised that nobody has gone into that building to just try and sideswipe him. Just get him out of there before it gets anywhere near possible for him to get kills. And he's already got 1. And now this is really screwing with the attention of the allies. They're not sure whether to look forward or backwards. Switch has gone down, but it's a 2-on-2. Another post plant on B. We've been here quite a few times before. Besson coming around the side of the street, past the truck, seeing if he can spot anyone at the back of the site, looking towards gate, looking towards the right side market, but no one is there. They're both on the stairs, and this could catch off guard the Axis. DBQ's going to get 1, and finally, the allies have converted a plant into a round.
That was a 2v5, was it not? I mean, they were down a lot early. I mean, Switch was able to push through bottom yellow, and because of that, they were able to kind of bypass him and get a free B bomb set, even pushed out B Street towards Connector and made it really hard for Eraseme to make the rotations. But Eraseme still had the first 3 kills on that round. Yet somehow, some way, that's the first round that Eraseme happened to win. Kind of crazy to think that that's the one that they pull out after they had several other close rounds they weren't able to capitalize on, and then that's the one that goes through. And now they will be going right back to attacking the coastline. But a nice set nade from 10. That's the second time he's done that same nade and gotten 2 kills with it.
Yeah, right off the bat, that's a slap to the allies. Sure, you may have got the last round, but we're going to be resetting that momentum right here, right now. And with all 5 players left on the Axis, typically they've won their rounds when they've been behind. So it doesn't bode well for the allies right now. Ghost and Bergie going to try and take some control over Red Brick and Long A, but Ghost peered in with his scope. Not able to see anything, and there's no reason for the Axis to go looking right now. They know they've got full control over this round. The only way that the allies can get back in, the only way that Pangea.Dragons can get back into this round is if they give free picks. That's exactly what Rethink has done. Maybe this is the gateway. Maybe this is the hope. And the only hope that they have. Bomb on coast is going to get picked up. And
Does
now
it make
Ghosts
me
moving
like just
back.
sadistic that I wanted him to fall in the water?
A little bit. It would have been
Okay.
funny though, at least. And that's the round done pretty much. Besson spotted them on the cross, and the improved buffed STG is going to go in for 1 kill, and Nox goes down to 45. And there is I Want Him to finish things off.
Yeah, again, it's just the early advantage coming in so quick for Eraseme. 10 again, a double kill with a nade. Second time in 4 rounds he's done that. When you're getting an instant 5 versus 3 advantage off of so little effort, it's going to be hard to come back from that. Again, those set nades can be so powerful for kills, but also they can kind of ruin timings and help you get into position quicker. So it's multi-use, but that time it's just straight up getting frags, straight up getting you an instant advantage. That is going to be 4-1 now to Eraseme.
Yeah, and again, due to the fact that the Allies have got more success, even though they've lost a lot of rounds, a lot of them very close. They're going back to B again. They decided this is their side of the map. This is where they can really get stuff done. Switch, he is going to be pushing his way in, but he's been found out by the shotgun, and although he does a lot of damage, it's not going to be enough to save his life. And you can add on top of that the 10 and Besson have both fallen down. This is a hell of a start for the Allies. It's a 2-on-5.
Yeah, it really hurt because that set nade kill that came in right off the bat from the Allied side actually killed the rotator that would normally be coming B to help out Switch. So Switch is stuck all alone at B on a round that happens to be a 5-man B rush. And so he's just dead. There's just nothing that he can do. He gets completely overwhelmed. And the first rotate got cut off as well. So as you said, just a 2 versus 5. You see I Want Him teeing off with 1 SPG headshot, but I mean, it leaves his teammate alone in a 1v4. It's going to be a rethink with a lot of thinking to do, and I think his decision will be just to try to back off and save this scope card. It's very valuable. Maybe try to take down a few guns from his opponent as well, force them to get some new cards in play. Obviously, you got to think the cards are running pretty low on the Allied side at this point with as many round losses as they have. So every kill he gets means someone else has to use a card to have a gun in the next round, or they have to use default.
Yeah, DB Go-Go chasing him down does make a bit more sense. He only had a carbine, so he's not going to lose anything for that. But now you can see, as you highlighted, 4 players with no cards left. Well, 4 classes, I should say.
Indeed, that is the case. So we're going to have to see what gets put to use here. Rethink is still going to have that scope. Well saved there from him. We do see a couple other guns coming in there. Shotgun class onto Bergie for the Allied side. We do have a bar as well on Darwy, so they have a little bit of something to work with. I think Ghost also has the M1.
Oh, rip. Nice start again. I mean, the amount of times that the Axis have started off with 1 or 2 nade kills is pretty extraordinary. I think it's almost every single round. Bergie, that's a really awkward fight, but it's going to go the way of him. He's going to find himself shanked from I Want Him. Not necessarily the kind of weapon you want to charge against, but it has gone the way now of the Axis. Back to an even note. Red brick building has been maintained once again as Mystic goes in for 1, but then gets traded out by Switch, who's made the fast flank all the way around the back of B through connector. And this leaves Ghost all by himself with the ground. He spots himself best on broken wall and does do significant damage, but takes him on his own. And he doesn't have control of the bomb. So at this point, the Axis are firm favourites to take this round on a 5-2 lead. And it's just got a whole lot worse. Ghost been tagged down to 34. Lots of time being whittled away. Although I will say, Dust, there's still 40 seconds left. I mean, he has a bit of time to play with here.
Yeah, he does, and he keeps being able to find cover to get that region in, so they can't really finish him off. And these Axis are kind of split up right now. I mean, Switch is pretty isolated, just like playing on the coastline. Besson over here still in middle, so he could find himself 2 1v1 duels and have a shot, but it's just with the M1 Grand, yeah, it's a 2-tap kill, but it does shoot a bit slow. It's harder to reload, so you gotta be really careful on how you play it out. And somehow he weaves his way into grabbing the bomb, but I don't think there's enough time left, no matter what happens here, to get back into his site and plant.
Yeah, it would have to be kills, and Besson knows it. He's just going to scurry back to the site. There's not enough time. He drops out as well. He's wasting a lot of time, although it will be a shotgun kill. 2 seconds left. No reason for Switch to show himself, and the round will be going the way of the Axis. But what I will say goes, fair play. I mean, he made that more costly than it really should have been.
He also got some cards for his team who are kind of ailing for them at this point, right? They've been kind of starved out of cards in many ways. So being able to carry over, I think he got a scope and a shotgun card to bring over, and you just see Bergie being able to have it now because of that. Ghost will keep on to the scope for himself. Got to put it to use in this next round, but still 5-2. As you noted, Eraseme's always really been able to find these early advantages, and they've just capitalized on them. A lot of chaos that time took place in the A apartments over in the red building, but it was Eraseme came on the better end of the deal, and now they've got the opening pick in this one as well.
But here's going to be Rethink, his 5th kill on the board. Right onto Darwi, check, who tried to cross mid. Again, it's going to be B, though. It's going to be slow on a couple of players as they move their way around, and most notably Ghost. Bergie, point-blank range, shotgun. Dispatches of Besson, but he will go down to the backside of Switch, who's actually just hiding behind the site itself. He's been found by Mystic, and once again, the allies are getting success onto the site. There's no nades left. They can't set nade onto the site to stop the plant. So if the allies go for the plant here outright and don't just try and fake it to draw up the axis, they will get it done. And then all the pressure switches across to Eraseme. But they're actually going to fake this a little bit. See if they can draw out a player or two into the open. Need to be careful what they wish for, though, because Rethink with that sniper's already shown that he's very capable with it.
And 3-on-3, bomb site is controlled by the allies. They just kind of scared the plant because as soon as you do, that's one guy out of the fight. If all three decide to run in, they're basically playing a 2v3 against your teammates. But Mystic, he has spotted a couple here on the stairwell. He's holding them off. He's making sure this bomb can get planted. Really well done. Just kind of putting that pressure, forcing the Axis to kind of just wait it out. And it does give him the plant to work with. But now it's all about whether or not this retake can work.
There's the one smoke that they have left, tossed onto the site. 10 with his Gewehr is going to be laid in wait, hoping that someone pushes him. But for the time being, the allies being very patient. Just waiting for the aggression to come in, and Rethink is going to be just that. Onto Mystic. Looking for another one, and it's not actually going to be his killer. Look as though he hit him through the wall, but now DBgo comes straight through with his own shotgun. 15 seconds in which to try and defend the site, and he's not even going to need it all. 3k at the end. Ridiculous work with the shotgun. We'll see the allies pick up their third round.
Yeah, again, just kind of came down to a 3-3 at the initial trades. You got to give a lot of credit to Mystic, who was able to hold off the back stairs, allow that plant to go down in the first place. But then it's just a Bigo showing you the strength of that shotgun in those close quarter situations. Has a lot of value. I mean, the only thing that can really go off on you is another shotgun or an SMG at that type of range. I mean, obviously, if you miss a shotgun, it takes a little bit of time to get that next shell in, but if you're accurate, you can just be devastating. That's exactly what happens there. Getting to a closer game now, and again, B looks to be in the cards for the Pangea.Dragons.
It does surprise me at this point they haven't just put 2 players on B, because it's clearly always going to be the case and they're going to attack there. So Besson at the back of the site is going to try and help Switch out, but Switch has already gone down. And by what I meant is 3 players, not just 2. Maybe have 2 players on there, one watching more like second mid. Rethink round the corner though with his sniper rifles, good for 110, also chimes in. Another 2-on-2, we've been here so many times. The SDG, close range will dispatch of Mystic. But now Darwi check, who has just given his position away on the staircase, is going to have to push through the smoke, and he very nearly gets the first kill. And had he have landed that kill, the round could have been his, as a final player was perched on the bomb. 6-3.
Yes, they do want to get the job done, despite the fact that B got a little bit overwhelmed early on. The retake comes through. But yeah, kind of talking to the fact of like how many people you should have defending each site. I think what I've really seen is that usually you have some type of B side anchor, but a lot of Axis teams really like to play towards Broken Wall and Connector. That way you have a pretty fast route to either side. But it's also all about having some type of scoping presence at middle that can watch the cross. Obviously, they have to cross mid-arch to get to B, and as long as they don't smoke it, if you get free vision on that, that's free information all day long to plan your rotate. So there's a lot that goes into deciding how you stack your numbers on this map. As Besson and Switch coming up with some huge quick kills thanks to the set nade in particular, but the Bigo does get one back, but still a 2 versus 4 very early on here.
I'll make it just 1 player left, and it's going to be Ghost. 10 dropped down to 64 from Gravity as he chunks into the ground, but Ghost does have control of the bomb and the bar. That's about all that's going from at this stage. Some noise being made by 10. Ghost is going to be able to hear that, but he's not able to pounce because he knows there's going to be players around Broken Wall. Besson is there. Switch is currently in Connector House. Ghost has seen Besson, but in doing so, he's going to be peeking Rethink, who will not miss with his car 98k scoped.
Yeah, so it just seems like we've very rarely seen allies be able to do anything early on in this game. You know, Pangea, almost like you said, almost at the start of every round is playing from behind. They have fit through a couple of rounds off of some B plays, kind of overwhelming, maybe an isolated player, but when you kind of look at the half as a whole, it's really just been, it feels like always 1 or 2 people go down immediately for allies due to some type of set nade. I mean, I think I've seen at least 4 out of these 10 rounds go that way. And maybe happening again as we're trying to go spawn street and the nades do come in, but they don't hit their mark.
Carbine is chunking through Switch, but he's going to be okay to survive a little bit longer. Bessen's going to turn fire through the smoke, also doing damage. No way of each team knowing as to how many players are here now, but Bergie, with a double, is able to take control of the site. Bessen tries some last-second heroics, but it's all too much as Bergie comes through with a 4K. Only Ghost is the other player to frag. Very nice, quick round by the allies.
Yeah, definitely a change of pace. It's only the second time they've really gone for B that quickly. You saw that Eraseme actually got a pretty fast rotate on that. They pretty much had all 5 in the area when the bomb was making its way in, but it was just Bergie being able to close the distance with that shotgun. He got into the L house, got it right in their faces, and was able to go off with the shotgun at close range. He teed off 4 kills that round, so well done. It gets them into a situation where the gap is closing on the scoreboard. It looks like they're going to try to go for something similar in this round. You see all of them again running through the spawn street towards the B side of the map. Already 2 here for Eraseme, and Rethink is also shifting over, so they'll have a proper defense in place. They've already pushed Coast as well. They have a lot of info on Eraseme.
And Bergie once again is going to be taking point with the shotgun. This time he will go down to Bessen, who's still very healthy, full 100% of his health remaining. Ghost and Mystic will be facing him next. Mystic round the corner, going to drop the bomb in a really precarious position as far as the allies are concerned. They also have to get rid of Bessen, but another few players which they have to deal with. Bessen's gone down, but a 1-for-1 trade should see his team take the halftime lead at 8-4. It'll take some serious hero play from Ghost. Does have the bomb, has a bit of time to play with Anna Thompson. But for me, the Axis is doing the right thing. They're basically stepping back, they're putting up a border, and they're just saying to Ghost, look, you have to come out into the open. You've got to get that bomb planted, and as soon as he does, he should be a dead man.
Yeah, it's pretty much the predicament that Ghost finds himself in. And I feel like at this point, his only real chance to win is just to push out and hope that he can try to isolate a player. I mean, that SMG certainly is going to be good at close range. You can rattle off plenty of bullets in a short span of time. You could even maybe do some type of 6 spray transfer and get a little bit of a 2-for-1 deal out of the peak. He taps the bomb, trying to draw people in. They do start to put some spam down. He finds one, but can't even get bullets off before he gets back into cover, and then just gets absolutely overwhelmed. Brilliantly done by Eraseme. That was just the perfect storm for Eraseme's side of things. I mean, it was basically the same round all over again from Pangea.Dragons, but this time around, you had Bessen being able to keep his distance from that shotgun, get the first kill, and then because Eraseme was so aggressive on the A side of the map, pushing Coast, they were able to quickly tell what was going on and get a really fast rotate. So again, just Eraseme, the king of timings on that one, and now we do switch sides to see how their own attack fares, as they already up 8-4. Again, this is MR12, it's a race to 13. And certainly Eraseme well out in front.
Yeah, commanding lead, but it's very possible that they could have the favor returned to them. First kill, gonna go the way of Bessen, though it's not looking good, and you can see a difference already in the style of how these two teams decide to go for it. Eraseme through mid, taking control of Broken. We didn't see Pangea.Dragons do that a single time, and already they've taken mid control, and this is so difficult out for the Axis to do anything about because they're basically split up. You can see that Bergie stuck in the house by himself is long range with his sidearm. It's not really going to do anything from that far away. I'm just going to go on to Mystic, and now Vigo, the back of the site, is a dead man, and that's the round done. And I mean, again, you just see the difference in style.
Oh yeah, this is surgical attack onto the broken wall and connector area there by Eraseme, and that's real estate that Axis really want to hold. You know, we were talking about that earlier. It allows you to only leave one person be because you're able to have support right there at the broken wall to kind of help them and have a short rotate either way. So that's where Axis really want to be, and yet it's the allies of Eraseme who take control of that in just rapid fashion. You can see the response was to try to kind of push out Coast and get into allied spawn, which Debigo was able to do, but he didn't get anything with it. He was caught. And so now it's 9-4 in favor of Eraseme, and again, they're kind of going for something similar, trying to attack with the smoke wall to get into this connector area. Ghost does get the opening kill, though, so they have to play from behind right away.
But they do already have a decent position established on Broken Wall again, and from the Axis perspective, they can't completely bite down on this because for all they know, it's one player in there, the rest of the team is starting to push their way through long, or maybe towards B. So they have to respect the fact that they could be going anywhere. Darby check, though, has got a good position. Up on the B house, you can see round the back towards the allied spawn. So they know it's more of an A-centric or mid-centric play at this point. And I've seen a couple players hop across on the mid houses. So although position is decent for the allies, the information is very good for Axis. It's going to come down to the frags, and Darwichek is now making a move through. Has done quite a bit of damage. He's down to 20, but will be regenning. 10 in the meanwhile, though, has gone into DB Go. And for everything that we've just said, it could be neutralized now. The Mystic's also fallen. Oh, no, it's gone horribly wrong for the Axis.
It really has. I mean, they basically had Eraseme contained in middle. They're like, okay, if you take middle, we'll just push to periphery and have perfect information and just box you in and contain you. But then it's just the duels from Eraseme. They break through all of that. Now they have a 3-on-1 post plant.
And I thought we'd been spotted, getting tagged up from multiple angles, really no hope. And again, as he said, it looked pretty good at the start. They got the opening pick, but just seemed to crumble afterwards.
Yeah, I mean, I liked how they responded to that. I mean, again, it's like, okay, we're seeing that same broken wall control of our opponent. What's our best course of action? Let's just back off, let them have it. But let's just make sure that we have tabs on the rest of the map so we know exactly where they're headed. We have a man advantage. You know, you set up very well, but it's just sometimes it does just come down to straight up winning duels and straight up brute forcing your way through a bad situation, and that's what Eraseme were able to do in that round. And now they will be shifting their focus towards pushing up coastline with basically all 5 players.
Solid nade this time. It's going to be finding its way onto the Axis and make that a second. Darwichek and Ghost are both dead and buried. The Bigo is able to take control of Broken Wall, but it basically means nothing at this point. Bergie, we've already seen how good he is with a shotgun when the roles are reversed on the allied side, but he's only good for the one. And in doing so, the bomb should be planted. Sure, Beston's getting wrecked up through from Broken Wall, but we'll use the bomb as a shield. And we'll plant on top of it. Mystic and DB Go. Is there really any hope? Is there really a miracle on the horizon? It seems less and less likely as each second passes. Mystic, connect to house, is going to get spotted soon if Switch keeps peeking out the side. Doesn't really need to move. He has a good position for the time being, as do the rest of his team. It's a solid shot by Mystic, but you can see that I Want Him is actually just camped up, perched on the second floor of the bomb building on the staircase. And with the player at the bottom as well, and one red brick, it's over.
It's just one of those situations where you had too many people to fight against who are all holding very smart angles and who aren't overcommitting. So they're not giving you anything for free. They're not giving you much to work with. And I think that was around that, again, like on the Axis side for Eraseme, was really, you know, created by really good set nades. I mean, they had the opening 2 kills in the round based off of, I think everyone threw a set nade that round over towards the A house or a thrive by tank or just kind of some of the common positions that Axis would hold. And it just netted them, again, an instant early advantage, very reminiscent of the first half, just from the opposite side. And so now this 2 away from locking up and moving on to round 2 of this tournament. And they will switch to pace again right away. This time, all 5 focused on pushing B side. And again, those set nades coming through for them.
Yeah, it was 10 who started off the last round, and he's gone on this one as well. Darwichek, nice hold for the time being, but low, outnumbered, outgunned, and dead will be his situation. DBGO had a chance. Oh, the double spray! Able to get the transfer. Beautiful work. And in doing so, he's now bought up the rest of his team a real chance at winning this round. Actually, it's more than a chance. It should be a formality. It's all on I Want Him. And he's up against Bergie, Ghost, and DBGO. He may be able to get the drop on the first player, although he is going to be encircled shortly. That smoke is going to help him out, but soon it will dissipate. I Want Him shows his face and will be able to get the kill. On to Bergie. He's down to 9 health, but that is enough to play with. There is still 45 seconds on the time, but there's no more health remaining on the side of Eraseme. Solid hold. DBGO, take a bow.
Yeah, it's just DBGO making sure he gets him while he's still regenning, not giving him a chance to get that full health to come back and take on a proper 1 versus 2. I think that round, I don't know if you saw that, but 10 just kind of walked by a smoke he put on towards connector and just walked into B site. And one of the players just pushed through it, just pushed through the smoke and got 2 kills. And the thing is, 10 saw him, or at least heard the footsteps, but maybe didn't register who it was. And that's really what won the round for Axis, was just getting through that smoke at the street and being able to get a couple of free kills, basically. Now it's back to a focus on that broken wall control from Eraseme, and they do get it at the cost of a lot of HP, but they're going to be able to regen that back. They have the opening kills as well going their way.
As ever, getting the first kills. It's looking ominous. It's looking really bad right now for the Axis, but they have bounced back with 2 kills. Both Berkey and Ghost find Switch and Rethink, and that's going to keep things interesting. That's going to keep Eraseme honest for the time being, although still using the broken wall and the mid-house to their advantage. Ghost going back towards the spawn. Berkey now has definitely seen a few players How many kills can he get? The answer is none, but now Ghost from the backside is able to connect one of his own. 45 seconds left. Besson and Ted. Decent firepower within the two of them. They also have some utility and control of the bomb. Ghost needs to survive. Best case scenario would be a kill from his perspective. And he's playing it very well. He's trying to draw the fire and somehow gets the kill with a sidearm. He gets traded out almost instantly afterwards, but that's one hell of an effort. And now Mystic could feasibly clutch this round, but he's been spotted by 10, who faked the bomb. I can't believe Ghost pulled out that Luger kill, though.
Yeah, I can't believe that either. And I have to say, you know, props to how they played out that 1 versus 1, by the way. I mean, he saw the clock was kind of low. He knew, hey, if I put a nade on the sight box, it'll stop him from being able to plant. And we basically are able to somehow still win this round despite the way things played out. But unfortunately, as he was throwing the grenade, he got peeked by 10. And he just straight up won the 1v1 duel, basically, you know, catching his opponent with his pants down, hunting for that nade frag. So a 12th round does go the way of Eraseme. Now just one away from locking up the first round here and moving on. Or some of the COD veterans are going to be waiting in the second round, as well as some of the teams who placed well in the previous Blitzkrieg battle. And Darwi does get that nice little set nade frag. That'll maybe keep them surviving into the next round.
That's surely one of the first times we've actually seen them open up their account early in the round on the Axis side for Pangea.Dragons. Like, typically they've been conceding nade kills. Going to be a third kill on top of that. It's only I Want Them that's came back with a kill of his own. And he is joined by Switch. They have control of the bomb at the very least, so it's not dropped out in the middle of nowhere. But a 4-on-2 surely should be going their way. It's not even like they have a nade or a smoke to try and open up one of these angles either, and it's just got a whole lot worse. Switch spots his teammate die right ahead of him to the hands of Mystic. And that should be all she wrote here. And that should be 12-6. It's still going to be a long comeback, though, if they want to pull this off. Eraseme has been spotted and taken down.
But they do keep it going for now. Yeah, I think you're right. I think this is probably the first time we saw them multi-frag with the set nade. I think they had a couple of set nade kills earlier in the game, but it was always still them being a player behind because their opponent had the better set nade or something like that. So that's the first time they really kind of came out clean in the opening exchange, you know, not giving up anything to be able to get their man advantage.
And importantly as well, there was 0 cards left on any class at the start of this after what they've picked up for the allies. So this could be an Axis way to get their way back into this one. See if they can maybe start to force them onto full-on carbines, make the most of that. But they're now looking to change things up with a fast A hit. Straight through A long. It's going to be all on Berkey to hold down the fort. He's got a Gewehr. He doesn't have a shotgun or an MP40. It's going to be very difficult. He's got one, which really, all things considered, isn't too bad. But the rest of his team is starting to crumble on the A site. The bomb's going to get planted. Although there's 2 of the Axis behind A towards the spawn. Oh, Switch should be getting that kill. That could come back to haunt them. It was a gimme frag, but it may not end up mattering anyway because Besson is going ham. Pulls out the knife and slices open Ghost. And I Want Them. He's going to be able to take this round with the rest of his team. 13-6 in the end. Eraseme cruise to the opening win, I should say, of the brackets.
Yeah.